My journey zigzags up to the north and to the east. After that, 2 points unknown. Who'd have thought it'd go this far? Looking for a sense of peace, peace of mind to call my own. So little left that's of me now. Broken shards of broken dreams, and I've got to rise above it now. Surreality. Thine heart it comes in solace, thine heart it comes in truth, thine heart turned inside out. Mustn't fret over yesterday, what's come to pass shall stay. Nothing left to say, nothing left to say. So little left that's of me now, living someone else's dreams, and I've got to rise above it now. Surreality. Surreality. consciousness and conscious bliss in your belief of what life is. Inside the bubble of what your God says is a travesty of ignorance, pretending to know what you've been told. How can you know what the answer is? Don't even know how to ask a question. Yes. Looking into the eyes of the night, gonna bring you around to first light. Open your arms to a brand new dawn. Live on. I never said I wanted to be anything other than what I am. The secret is figuring out what it is, and the truth that you sought dwelling deep in your heart. Looking into the eyes of the night, gonna bring you around to first light. Open your arms to a brand new dawn. Live on, live on, live on. Just another day, just another road that leads where no one ever thinks they might be. Nothing to say, nothing you can believe in, nothing ever will be quite the same. No one can see what you're feeling inside. No one can tell you what for. Forever lost in a moment in time. For they cannot know. What would he be? Where would he go from there? And when will your pain subside? I hope I never know. I hope I never understand, but never gonna ask you why. No one can see what you're feeling inside. No one can tell you what for. Forever lost in a moment in time. For they can hardly know. For they can hardly know. When you find you're alone and the walls of your faith are beginning to fall, and you're searching for strength, wonder where is the end of it all.
Could you hit the yeah. Hi everyone. Sorry for the delay. Oh wait, there's reverb on and everything. We gotta shut that off. Because as usual, I had technical difficulties. It never fails really with me. I was ready hours early and accidentally started the stream, so that was cool. So we had to reset everything. People have found it. Were you able to send resend a link or anything? No?
I didn't mess with it
No?
because my phone's over there.
Oh.
So hopefully somebody found me.
Oh, we have a studio audience today, so that's cool.
Yes.
So that's pretty interesting. And but yes, I accidentally. I didn't accidentally. There's some weird phenomenon where I still haven't quite figured out how to get this right yet. I don't. Is that bad? Does that sound bad? I think that sounds bad.
That sounds bad.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know if you've realized that's part of my bit, Nancy. It's, I make. So, welcome in.
Thank you very much. Feel blessed.
That was
Opportunity.
That was a stressful about 35 minutes for me. At like 7:30, the mixer that I used for the last several weeks failed. So then I had to switch everything to a different mixer, and then somewhere in the middle of that we realized that the stream was actually running, and so we had to reset everything because that was bad. And then and then all the work that I usually do in the last half an hour still hadn't been done. So it was going great. Mm-hmm. Right. So
It's fine.
but we got here.
We're here.
Right.
Yes.
That's wonderful. So
Yes.
And it's the debut of I am not operating cameras, and you're gonna see something magic here in a minute. That like there's a camera for Nancy, that in a minute. It's all new here. I think what? No. See, you did the same thing. Remember, you got to hit the button that actually, because there you go. There it is.
Oh, wow.
See?
That's pretty cool.
Right. There's that one.
Wow.
And I don't have to do it because usually I have to.
Right.
And I was doing 15 things at once. I had to fire all the people that never showed up, and we hired somebody new. So we have a production manager. I don't like the title that you came up with for yourself. I just gave you a promotion. The title she gave herself was production assistant.
Oh.
I just promoted her to production
Manager.
Yes.
I think that would
Absolutely.
be good. Yes.
Oh, that's a little too loud. But so the fabulous Josette is production manager.
An amazing musician.
She's our guest next week, so there will be no
Yep.
production manager next week. So Nancy and I met at I think the first time was at the Aaron Kelly open mic.
Yes.
Which is a fabulous open mic there at Preservation. It's been mentioned many times here at the Songwriters Lounge, and you, I come to find out after meeting you several times, are some kind of TikTok international superstar. This is true.
I have over 4,300 followers on TikTok. And
TikTok international superstar.
it's pretty fun. You could do open mics on TikTok, and I never thought that people would follow my music, and I've met a lot of interesting people. It's pretty fun.
Now, what brought you to that venue? Was it just by chance, or somebody direct you there, or what? How did that happen?
So there was a homeless man, and he was sitting on a bucket, and he
So
had
wait, I have a question.
yes.
Where?
In Batavia.
Okay.
He was sitting on a bucket by the Walmart, and I had just finished grocery shopping, and I saw his sign, and I said, okay, I'm going to feed him. So I went to Aldi's, and I got him bread and lunch meat and breakfast bars and Cheetos because I didn't know if he had teeth. Mm-hmm. And
Right.
I went over
That's
and
good
I got him
thinking.
a case of water, and I said, I don't have any money, but I'm going to feed you. And I fed him. And I talked to him. He told me he had struggles, and I said, I don't judge anybody. I accept everybody. And as I was leaving, a car pulled in front of me, and it was my mother's name on a license plate. And my mom had died in 2016. This was 2017. So that was like a sign from heaven. So there was this Facebook group called Love What Matters, and it said, did you do an act of kindness? And I said, yes. So I submitted my story, and I got interviewed, and I had 35,000 views on my video. And when they called me, they told me, why aren't you on TikTok? So they interviewed me, and they grabbed my YouTube station, and they were playing my music behind the interview, which was so amazing. So that's how I started TikTok. But the amazing thing, I'm going to tell you about this homeless man. I kept looking for him to feed him. And the day of the year that I buried my mother, he was sitting in the bucket again. And I fed him again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what brought me to TikTok. Because I was on Facebook, and I kind of learning Instagram. I really don't understand it. But TikTok, I got it pretty good.
I think that's pretty much exactly what I said when I talk
Yeah.
about, I try it. It doesn't make sense to me, but I keep trying.
It's actually very user-friendly, better than Instagram. But it's really cool because you can put yourself on there, like I put the link of the stream of our poster on TikTok, and I have my music on an independent record label. I'm on DistroKid under Bionic Nana, and there's sounds, which is small inserts of my songs that TikTok has, and you can grab it, and on my poster that I put on TikTok, it said, I Will Be There, the song that I wrote. And it's playing I Will Be There as me and you were on the poster for TikTok.
Oh, cool.
So that's what brought me to TikTok.
That's cool. That's a great story. Now, how long have you been writing music? Like your whole life, or are you new to it? Or
I started playing guitar in 1979.
Okay.
My father brought me my first guitar. My mom was taking lessons, and I grabbed the guitar and
Did you always write songs,
I taught
though?
myself. I wrote poetry.
Okay.
And then I literally started writing probably about 4 years ago.
Okay.
And then my friend Elisa, we've been friends over 50 plus years.
Wait, hold on. Say hi, Lisa.
See that? Yeah, Lisa's in the audience. We met when we were 8 years old. It's amazing to meet with somebody and still have that connection after this long and get to meet with her every Monday with our open mic. It's
Right.
an opportunity. So I lost my train of thought
No,
there.
that's okay. Well, about
So writing.
Yeah.
So Elisa told me to come to an open mic, and Sam Wyatt was posting an open jam at Riverside Pizza in St. Charles.
Okay.
And I went to my first one in 2019, and I played an open mic, and I kind of haven't stopped.
Yeah. Well, that's fast forward how I ended up back playing, where I had stopped for quite some time, and then created this forum because going out and playing in public and finding places where I was comfortable. I had done open mics a number of years ago, was part of a house band when Ballydoyle started like 20 years ago, and but I was never comfortable playing guitar and singing by myself, ever. I always played with a band and never felt like there was anything interesting about what I was doing. And until I went to Aaron's open mic and the people there made me feel comfortable, then I began to find comfort in it.
Correct.
And then it became easier. So and then the whole community up and down, the Fox River Valley in this area. There's so many wonderful people. So, you got a song for us?
Yeah, I just wrote this one a couple weeks ago. It's Gentle Rain, and it's got to do with seasons. So here's Gentle Rain. I have not released this yet. I'm going to be putting it on DistroKid. I like to listen to the rain as it pours down from the window pane. I don't like the thunder or the lightning, listening to the rain. It's exciting. I wanna dance in the rain, feel the drops on my face. I wanna jump in the puddles and splash around like I did when I was a child. I wanna dance in the rain, feel the drops on my face. I wanna jump in the puddles and splash around like I did when I was a child. I like to look out my window, catch the sun rising from the ground. Sometimes you'll see an animal standing in the sun's glare, just looking around. I wanna feel the sun on my face. It's like I was kissed and embraced from the sun. I wanna feel the sun on my face. It's like I was kissed and embraced from the sun. I like to watch the first snowfall as it covers the trees, glistening on the ground. I wanna jump in a pile of snow, listen to the crunching below. I wanna have a snowball fight with my friends. I wanna lay on the ground, like a snow angel to be found in the gentle rain, in the gentle rain. In the gentle rain.
Yay!
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Actually, I have applause. That's wonderful.
I know. With the audience. Wow. I feel so blessed.
That's I like the reference to the crunching snow. Mm-hmm. And it's today was the first day in the 80s in a long time, I think, because it was nice out there. So now I like the snow.
Right.
When it's 80, I like
right.
the snow.
Yep. Well, when me and Lisa were little, we used to walk around the railroad tracks and, you know, the crunching of the snow and the rocks, they make a certain noise. The railroad rocks. Yeah.
Well, that brings us to the album side of the week now. Because our fabulous new production manager chose the album side of the week this week. And this week, she chose Born in the USA. Mm. I forgot, what side A or side B? A, side one, which starts with Born in the USA, Cover Me, Darlington Country, Working on a Highway, Downbound Train, and I'm on Fire, I know that one. Mm-hmm. This is a record that has a zillion hits, because the other side has a whole bunch of hits too. So I think Joe said, is we discussed this earlier, a solid 20 years younger than me. So, but when I was in high school, you couldn't get away from this album. So, but I don't think she existed yet. So, fabulous record. And this I inherited this. This was not purchased at any of the fine establishments. I usually try to promote the establishment I get it at. This came from our attic.
Wow.
This was my wife's. She probably got it at Kmart, I think. Mm-hmm. She was a frugal young lady. That would when she was young, she saved money to buy an Atari 2600, and she likes to tell the story that she got I don't remember if it was a 20 for her birthday. It was $120 something or whatever that she saved for a long time. The rest of it she paid for it in singles.
Wow.
So you're counting them out.
Yep. Yep. When my son was younger, he wanted I think it was Super Nintendo or Nintendo 64. I can't remember which one, but they were sold out in the United States. So
would you fly to China and get one?
I called Nintendo. I did.
See, no, I don't see you as that take no BS kind of person, but you
I called
for
Nintendo.
Your kids, I guess.
I called Nintendo and I told them my son wanted this video game and there was none available in the United States. And he told me to call him back with a credit card, and he sent it Saturday night overnight delivery. Yep.
Wow. That's a good story right there.
I've done lots of things when my kid wanted something.
Well, sure.
I have called stores.
That's the mama bear
yep,
thing, right?
Oh, yes. And that's what I've done, and he knows it.
I hope he doesn't ever forget it.
He doesn't,
Good.
yeah.
Good. That's good. And nor should they.
Nope.
It's like sometimes when one of my boys are sitting there and their mother's, and you're like, help your mother. Oh, okay, sorry. So that's when they're young. They figure it out. So let's see. Another one of our fabulous studio audience members had a request of Mary Sheridan is also an upcoming guest.
Amazing musician.
Incredible songwriter.
Oh, yes.
And was kind enough to show up this weekend at the place that I played, and so she said she wanted to hear One Simple Truth, which is a new song that I wrote not too long ago. So I can't remember. I know I played it probably, I don't know, not too long ago, but a request is a request, especially when it's an original. You gotta. This is for anyone who doesn't know, this is written based out of. There's a woman named Jenny Bieneman who writes a haiku every week and posts it, and people started writing songs based on these haikus, and they started putting on shows based on the songs that were based on the haikus, and I ended up at one on accident. I didn't know that's what I was going to. We were at the same one. Mary and I had this conversation. We found out we were at the same one before we knew each other. And I was so inspired by the whole thing that I subscribed to her page and started reading them and paying attention to them. And then, but this one that I came across didn't ever really make any sense to me. But it did remind me of something that the kind of a thing that my mother would have said to me when I was a kid. And like some kind of wisdom that I didn't yet understand. So I ended up writing this song more about my mother than about the content of which I'm getting closer to remembering the haiku exactly, which I believe is, wait, Jenny has a whole thing too. I think she raises her hand, but I think she raises her hand and pretends to be all, but I think the whole thing is, I saw her once, because then she counts out the syllables with her other hand.
Oh, wow.
That's what I saw. So it's the moon and her co-workers hold hands against the darkness. Nothing gets past them.
Wow.
Right? What the hell does that mean? Who cares? Doesn't matter.
It's deep.
It is deep.
It's
That's what I
very
said.
deep, yes.
But it also sounded like something like my mother, like when you're,
Right.
you're 7 and your mom says something like, it's always darkest before the dawn, and you're
My
7.
mother used to say that all the time.
Right.
Yes.
And you're 7 and you go,
What? Yeah.
but then later it makes sense, and or whatever type of thing. But it just sounded like something my mother would have said.
The calming of the storm.
Right. So-
Yep.
So I changed it a little bit. Moon and the stars hold hands against the darkness. The right kind of smile, she softly began to explain. We can try and try, but we'll never get another one past them. 'Cause it never is what it is. It never really seems to be what it seems to be. My mother said to me, try to be a man of your word. Try to give people the benefit of the doubt every once in a while. My mother said to me, God gave you one mouth and 2 ears, so you ought to listen much more than you speak. But you damn well better work twice as hard against the moon and the stars holding hands against the darkness. And with the right kind of smile, she softly began to explain. Now we can try and try, but we'll never get another one passing. 'Cause it never is what it is. It never really seems to be what it seems to be. We run around, we ain't yet seen the found. Life holds one simple truth. True to your heart and true to your soul. Oh, heartache, emptiness, sure gonna find you. My mother said to me, never give up on yourself. There'll be a time when you gotta stand up and fight. When it's time to fight, give it all you got. And what you're fighting for, and you will fight harder than you ever thought. Against the moon and the stars holding hands against the darkness. The right kind of smile, she softly began to explain. Try and try, but we'll never get another one passing. 'Cause it never is what it is. It never really seems to be. The moon and the stars hold hands against the darkness. The right kind of smile, she softly began to explain. Try and try, but we'll never get another one passing. 'Cause it never is what it is. Never really seemed to be what it seemed to be. maybe I do this because I'm self-deprecating. Oh, wait. I make fun of myself.
Why? Why would you make fun of yourself?
Because I do.
But you're in a
Low self-esteem, right?
You shouldn't,
Well,
because you are amazing. you are. How can I express it? You're an epitome of amazing. You are, and it's like it's so blessed to be your friend and be an acquaintance.
It's nice.
And when you asked, now I'm gonna cry. When you asked if I'd like to go on your podcast, I wanted to know why.
What do you mean?
Because there's so many other amazing musicians, and I just think that people wouldn't be interested.
I think you're
in my
inspiring because the whole point of this is to inspire people to write music.
Yeah.
Because
it's everything.
Because what I've learned more than anything in the last few months is that all of us feel this, no matter
Right.
where you are on your journey in this, you feel this insecurity, this inadequacy, no matter what. And that's so kind of you to say that. And finally, enough people have said nice things to me that I'm almost beginning to believe it.
You need to believe it.
Well, thank you.
You do. Because
It's really
it's like an honor to be here. Seriously, in your presence.
The show's about you today.
But still,
but thank you.
but you have to honor somebody that represents you.
So, but the point of it is,
Yeah.
and when you said, why were you asked? Because you're inspiring to me. Because I wasn't 100% sure, but I thought that I heard you say that you'd started writing not very long ago.
Right.
And for someone, most people don't start things late in life. Mm-hmm. Most people, if you will excuse my French, sit on their ass and do nothing.
Right.
And so for you to take up a challenge and put yourself out there and do that is inspiring.
Thank you.
And you deserve to feel the same level of praise because you stand up there and you say what's in your heart, and that's all that songwriting is. And anyone can be damned if they want to criticize you for doing that. And so, and that's what this is about.
Right.
There was a point I started doing this because I had no place to play, and I stink at getting gigs. I'm terrible at marketing. Anytime I have a good idea to do something, I manage to mess it up pretty good. But this thing just started because the only thing I could figure out to do to play any of these songs that I'd been writing for the last 30 years of my life was to create this thing, and I literally called it the stream to no one because no one was watching. But I created this thing and I turned it on and I pushed the button and I could play a song. And at least it was something.
It was something.
And if you go back and you watch the first ones, you see a dude on the verge of tears almost every time because I couldn't even get it together.
Right.
And there was a point where when I started meeting people, and look, you got me so deep into it, I lost track of the sound. I could see it leveling out, and that never happens to me. But there was a point where I realized, it was shortly after, I asked Aaron to come in. I had friends come in, and we would play a few songs, or I had my brother come, because my brother and I, over the years, never played too much together, even though we're brothers, It just never happened, but we figured out a way to play 4 or 5 songs, I think it was the first time. And so there's all these different things, and then Aaron and I had this connection, and we had these wonderful conversations, and I invited him on, and it was just to have him on because I just thought he was amazing, and he was gracious enough to come on, and we had this amazing conversation talking about songwriting, and I realized in that conversation that's what this needed to be about. This needed to be about songwriting, and to turn the light around and show it on all these people that I was meeting. And that's when I started asking everyone that I thought was interesting and cool, and it turned into this thing. And that's the organic beauty of what it's turning into. And it's really fun and really enjoyable to keep I just keep meeting new people. I met Mary not too long
Right.
ago, and Mary's become a wonderful person I see all the time now.
Right.
And you know, and all these people, and Josette is a newer
Right.
person, and she's become a wonderful friend as well. And people that played at the new yearly event. Look at that. I'm almost like a weatherman. Look at that.
Fox Valley Jammer things.
The Sound Mind, Sound Heart Music and Art Festival. That's next year, the third weekend in May. Mark your calendars. Look at, I did that. So anyway, all those things are wonderful things. We got way off topic, but that's fun.
Yes.
The next really hard-hitting question I have is, what is your favorite kind of ice cream?
What is my favorite kind of ice cream? Well, I like strawberry shortcake ice cream.
Strawberry
Bars.
shortcake ice cream.
Yeah, the ice cream bars. I really
Ice
like
cream
those.
Bars.
The
So,
strawberry.
but if you buy a gallon, if you went to the grocery store and bought a gallon or a carton or a quart, what would it be? We could come back to that. What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue. So you had an answer for that one, right?
Yeah,
Why?
yeah.
All right, that's good. We could stop there. I don't want to stump you or nothing.
I mean, I like all kinds of ice cream, but strawberry, the bars are my favorite.
Well, that's
Because
okay.
then you don't have to fight with the containers with the scooper. That's why.
Just get right to business.
Take it out of the box and you eat it.
Do you have another song? You have one about strawberry shortcake ice cream bars?
No, but I got It's Our Tribe that I wrote for the Fox Valley Jammers.
That's a good one.
So when I went to the Fox Valley Jammers picnic 2 years ago, I believe it was, I was inspired to write a song called It's Our Tribe because we're a tribe. And there is musicians of every age and every genre, and it's a comfortable, so I wrote It's Our Tribe. So this is It's Our Tribe. It started 2 years ago on a social page to bring together musicians of any age. Music genres of all different types, originals, covers of poetry of any kind. Now when we want to play, there's a schedule where we can find the music that day. It's a tribe. Join us and sign your name and give it a try. It's a tribe. The only thing we ask is be kind. Now the Lord us as our friends, that we wouldn't know if the internet didn't exist. There are all kinds of venues you can go, where the host will set you up ready to go. 'Cause it's a tribe. Join us and have some fun. It's your time to shine. It's a tribe. The only thing we ask is be kind. Some of us play by ourselves, others gather and collaborate with some help. You could have the worst date, but after we gather, we will know it'll be okay. 'Cause it's our tribe. music heals our souls. And with this group, we have many places to go. That's a Fox Valley Jammer song I wrote. Thank you.
I love that.
Thank you.
When I first started doing this and I was by myself, I had to put up a sign on the wall because I would start singing and I would forget to turn the reverb on, and then I would stop like first because nobody was watching, so I didn't care. I'd stop and then go. I forgot the reverb. Talking to the camera, that nobody was watching, and then I'd turn the reverb on, and then when I was done, then I would start talking again, and then the reverb would still be on. Then I'd put this big sign up. It's still up there somewhere. It's a piece of paper, but the early viewers know. Reverb, they yell at the TV.
I had a panic attack in 2020 playing on Facebook Live. I was playing my guitar and 100 people signed on, and I saw them and I started sweating and I dropped my guitar pick and I shut it off. I was like so scared. I was like, I didn't know what to do.
Well, that's one way to do it.
Yeah, like,
Off.
Yep.
That makes it easier.
Yeah.
It's different than being on stage where you can't really go
Right.
anywhere.
Oh, I did a doozy. I had an all-girl band together when I was 16. It was
Really?
called Sweet Paradise.
Was she in it?
No. No, Lisa wasn't, but my other friends were, and
Why not?
we went. I don't know. Lisa doesn't like to try to play music. She always says she can't carry a tune or play an instrument. And I always tried her to, but she won't do it. I tried to get her to play a tambourine, but she says
She won't
no.
do it?
No.
I can't see her. I can see Mary, but she's behind the video screen.
Yeah.
I keep trying to see around it to see if she's smiling or.
But I was on. We used to go to this bar. We were 16, and they let us on a Sunday.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
you would just go in and play, and I was playing Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, and I was playing Crimson and Clover, and I messed up on the lead. I threw my guitar down and I walked off the stage.
Wow.
Yeah,
Feisty.
I was. Yep.
Somehow I can believe that. I can believe that. All right. Well, do you have a website? And how do people find the Bionic Nana?
So
Wait. You have to tell the Bionic Nana story. I know it.
Okay, so Bionic Nana, I was in a car accident in 2021, and I shattered my ankle, and I'm a Nana. So when I was in a cast, I promised my mom before my mom died, I would find a way to release my music. I would play a little bit for my mom, and my mom and dad would always, like my songs. Like when I was younger, my dad bought me my first guitar, and my dad died of cancer when I was 16. He was a World War II veteran. And I would bring the guitar to the hospital and play for him, but I would play covers because I really didn't do anything there. And then I would play a little bit of keys, but I don't play that in front of anybody. But I taught myself guitar. And then I tried to learn different techniques. I was learning how to do slide. I'm learning that. And I taught myself how to finger pick. I'm not as good, but I'm trying. And I'm able to wing it. But anyways, with Bionic Nana, I found DistroKid, which is an independent record label. And I found this app called Be Funky, and you make artwork with it, and you save it in your phone. And I record on iPhone voice memos, and it converts to a WAV file, and I upload to DistroKid. So I released my music on DistroKid under Bionic Nana. I am on Bionic Nana Music on TikTok. I am on Instagram, Bionic Nana _ because somebody already had my name. I have Bionic Nana Music on Facebook. And I'm trying to think of what other website. But at DistroKid, I'm on 30+ platforms, so you can find my music anywhere.
Right.
And then a really cool thing that happened on Mother's Day, if I could share.
Sure.
So I wrote a song called Mother's Day in Heaven, and I released it a couple years ago on DistroKid. And I told you on TikTok, you can go to sounds and you could type up anything in the top, like Mother's Day in Heaven. I got a message on Mother's Day that 86 women took my little bit of my song, Mother's Day in Heaven, and made a video with their mom for Mother's Day. So I've been going on to their videos, and I've been telling them Happy Mother's Day to their mother in heaven, and thank you for sharing my song. So I've made some new connections across the world. So it's really amazing what you could do on TikTok. I have friends that in New Zealand, if I may share another story, when my mom had passed away, her phone number is still in my phone. So if you have a phone number in your phone of one that is deceased,
Eventually, they're going to give it to somebody else.
it gets recycled to somebody else. So in December, I got a text message from Telegram saying that Mom was online. So I was like, my heart was racing, my mind was a blur. And the next day, I wrote a song called There's No Phones in Heaven. And I'm on a group on Facebook for folk, because I write folk music. And I've made some connections in New Zealand. And there's actually a producer. His name is Mark Sheridan. And he messaged me when I put this song on TikTok. And he said, Nancy, I downloaded your song. And I added strings and piano to it. And I want you to release it on DistroKid. I was floored. So it's called No Phones in Heaven.
That's awesome.
And it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So it's the connection. Social media sometimes is negative, but there's a lot of positive of connections. And there's people on there that have messaged me on TikTok saying I'm their music they go to when they're sad. Because I said I want to put a smile on anybody's face. I put my foot in the universe, and I care.
Well, I think you're getting back what you're putting out. And
Yes.
if you're putting out a bunch of negativity, then you're getting back a bunch of negativity.
And I don't
And I don't
be
think
negative.
you do that at all.
No, I try.
Not that I've ever seen.
I try to
I don't know.
inspire.
Have you ever? Maybe in secret she's nasty, but I've never seen it.
But I try to. If I read a blog, I've got a song, and it's an instant.
Right, and that's the beauty of
Yeah.
of you can find perspective in so many different places.
Correct.
And if you once you see how that your brain does that,
Yes.
all of a sudden anything can be a song.
It's
I say that
exciting.
5 times a day. Oh, there's a basis of a song right there.
Always keep a notebook by
I
you.
knew there's a whole pile
Yep.
of
Yep.
young people put them in here, but I still write them down on pieces of paper.
Me
and
too.
then there's a day where I'm
As
digging,
you can see
right,
on my clip.
right.
Yep.
Because her notes, her words were actually a piece of paper, and it was a screenshot of a piece of paper.
Yep.
So it was
Yep.
that was beautiful. Okay, so that was your. That's how people find your stuff. And then do you have gigs or just open mics?
I just do open mics.
Okay.
I don't know how to promote myself. I did play
I
last
can relate to
year
that.
at the Fox River Art Festival in St. Charles. I played that. That was my first time ever playing something like that. What
That stuff's fun.
What I really want to do is I want to play at assisted living, and I want to I have a karaoke machine I can plug my guitar in, and I want to play for them, but I don't know how to approach that.
Yeah.
So that's
Maybe
that's
somebody
where
in this situation, we
yeah.
can find a connection and begin to make that happen. Because I know that there's somebody, you know what, I might be when we're done, we can talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, as always, melmusic.com, MELMUZIC, melmusic.com, any kind of stuff. I have some stuff coming up. I'm playing this Thursday at Black Dog Vinyl at a songwriter showcase. I'm doing a couple of those this week. I'm doing another songwriter showcase on Saturday at the Ridge in Woodridge. That's twice in 7 days at the same place. That's kind of cool. And then I don't know what I have next week. I don't know. I'd have to look. Next week, we go back to not having a production manager because our production manager is our guest next week. So Josette Casey is a wonderful songwriter, and she is our guest. And by being the guest and talking about helping me with the computer is how this wonderful. And all the camera switching that you're seeing is all her fantastic eye and artwork. And let me see if my calendar comes up. Let's see, the 17th is my son's birthday, so I may not stream that night, although he's turning 15, so he may not care. So I may stream anyways. Because he's 15, he might just be like,
Yeah.
And then the 24th, Michael Reese, who is the host of the showcase that I'm doing Thursday. And then Mary is July 1st.
Yes.
Are you going to wear red, white, and blue? I will. Okay. How about I wear red and you can wear blue and Josette will wear white. Yeah. And then we'll be patriotic. All right. And then let's see. We'll go one more. Who's on the 8th? The 8th is Hannah Delilah.
Oh, wow.
Which I need to check in with her.
Yes.
So that's the next few, and then let's see. I think that's everything on the board. That's everything on the board. You know what that brings us to? What does that bring us to?
You know what that reminds me of?
Dumb joke of the day.
Do you know what that reminds me of?
What does it remind you of?
It reminds me of, Lisa, who was the guy in the coffin? Spanguli. Yeah, it does. It does. It reminds me.
Lisa, that's been your whole life, hasn't it? Every time she has a question, she just shouts it or calls you or sends you a text, right?
Yes.
That's
I'm
like
the trusty sidekick.
50 years, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So how old were you guys? You guys were kids.
We were 8.
8 years
it's
old.
50 plus years.
Right on. Right on. I admire anyone, people who, you know why I admire it? Because I see you guys every Monday and you're still giggling like you're in middle school.
I know.
And it's wonderful. So I think that's
It's like
great.
when she shows up, it's just like we weren't even apart. You know, it's like we just pick up
I don't
from
think you ever have been, have you?
Yeah. She left me when she was younger. She moved away for a while.
Yeah.
But she came back. But yeah, that was
You're
sad.
irresistible. You have a magnetic personality.
But when somebody is like my friend, I'm their friend forever. I don't really, I like on school friends and stuff. I still talk to people that are in elementary school with me and with high school. Yeah, I still have the connection.
I understand that.
And I even talked to professors when I just graduated from college in 2014 before I was 50. And they were on my Facebook and they're like, go for it, with my music and everything.
Well, it's because you're a delightful human being.
Thank you. Appreciate
All right,
that.
so the dumb joke of the day, Aaron Kelly, our faithful mailman, theoretically puts these things in the mailbox, although this week we know that he didn't. Because, let's see. So this will be a surprise to me. Let's see. How many folk singers does it take to screw in a light bulb? I don't know. How many folk singers does it take to screw in a light bulb? 1 to change it, and 5 to sing about how good the old one was. That's very good.
That was good.
Nice. All right. All right. So that brings us to the end of the night. Thank you very much for being here,
Thank
Nancy.
you. I appreciate
really appreciate it. You're an
Yes.
inspiring human being on every level.
Thank you. And
Thank
you
you.
are too.
Thank you very much. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Josette. Thank you, the
Josette.
studio audience.
Yep.
That was wonderful. So as the great Ray Rana used to say, bye, bye, bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.